Today, we mourn the bank accounts of Taylor Swift's fans that pre-ordered the Tortured Poets Department and then received 17 songs that all sound the same. And then also we mourn them because she pulled a fast one and released a longer version of the album with 31 songs. And then also I think she released different versions of the original album with one or two more bonus songs added. Our billion-dollar princess is really out here trying to outmoney us all. All jokes aside, I genuinely feel bad about Taylor's fans, because she really only sees them and uses them as a way to become richer. Obviously, as most celebrities do, but her case is a little extreme. Through her music, and I'm saying this both before and after listening to the album, she nurtures this parasocial relationship that her fans have with her, thinking they're her best friends, but also somebody that they should protect, thinking they have this special bond with her solely because they can name all of her relationships, all of her cats, all of her friends, past and present, and every lyric to every song from any album ever, and then also they can tell you when she uses a certain word and in what context. I need you all to get a hobby, or just like do drugs. I don't know, do that. Taylor preys on the younger demographics. Instead of growing up with her audience, she always reaches lower and lower in age to impress the most impressionable of people. It's very sinister, to be honest. Constantly targeting sad teenagers and building your legacy on them, ruining the most carefree periods of their lives by encouraging this obsession that they have with you. Also, who has the time to listen to all 31 songs? In one sitting? In this economy? I have a job. I have hobbies. I listened to this album 3 times, like I do with anything that ever comes out. The first time, it's just like a regular run through. The second time, it's with paying attention to the lyrics and taking notes. And the third time, it's on shuffle, to see if the songs can stand on their own. And let me tell you, I did these 3 listens in 11 sittings. Not once was I able to get through the album in one sitting. Not only because it's too long, but because it's boring as hell. At least Beyonce's album was fascinatingly bad. This is just like boring and bad. Today I will go over each song a bit, give you my thoughts on the songs, and obviously on the album at the end. I would also love to hear your thoughts on the album, and if you are a Taylor Swift fan, if you found what I said as offensive, please do tell me how much I suck in the comments. Thanks. Fortnight. I love you, it's ruining my life. I touched you for only a fortnight. The melody and the sound of this song is so similar to what was on Midnights, and it also kind of reminds me of some of 1989 because of the synth influence, but it also folklore and evermore based on the way that she sings the lyrics, meaning that she doesn't really sing them, she like sing-talks the lyrics. And on this song there's also a feature. Post Malone of all people is featured. Shockingly, he does not make me want to stab my ears out. He actually sings some nice harmonies for Taylor. I think he actually works well with her on this song because Taylor lacks bass and depth in her voice most of the time that she sings. That singing with somebody male, like Post Malone, or even some women that have better lower registers like Lana, makes Taylor sound more interesting by default. Although both of these artists, meaning Post Malone and Lana, come up with way more fun melodies in the songs that they're on with Taylor. The Tortured Poets Department. So this is basically like the melody from the song Mine, especially during the verses. Like, it's insane how similar they are. I like that she has just like a tiny bit of sense of humor in this song, with the opening lyrics being, "You left your typewriter at my apartment, straight from the Tortured Poets Department," which reminds me of "You took my sadness out of context at the Mariner's apartment complex." Continuing, "I think some things I never say, like, who uses typewriters anyway?" This is funny, but whatever. "My boy only breaks his favorite toys." Just kind of boring, and the melody reminds me a lot of Tuvalu's song Mistaken, which is a much better song. Down bad. Okay, so I'm reading this from Genius Annotations that I assume her fans put in there. Taylor has shared how to prepare for the Eras tour. She had an intensive workout routine. Quote, "Every day I would run on the treadmill, singing the entire set list out loud. Fast for fast songs, and a jog or a fast walk for slow songs. With many of the songs on the set list being confirmed to have been about Joe Calvin, it's likely Swift was crying while she was having to practice singing these songs while going through a breakup with the muse of many of the songs she was singing. Y'all are reaching, respectfully. The title of this song also is one of the problems that I have with this album, and it's that it's trying kind of too hard to impress the younger demographics, because isn't that what the kids are saying now? That you're down bad? Yeah, it just feels like she's kind of repeating all of this for the sake of, I don't know, somebody repeating it, or when somebody would go to look up these sayings or phrases or whatever, that they would stumble upon Taylor's song. Yeah, I'm not into it. So Long, London. Okay, so this is a very fun song, but the singing is so monotone, except in the intro. I wish the entire song was like the singing in the intro, with the different harmonies, and just like with the playing of how she was going to sing each line. Well, they're not really lines in the beginning, but you know what I mean. The constant repetition of the same structure of the song is very annoying, and listen, I wrote this note, 5 songs in? It gets even more egregious by the end of the album. Listen, repetitive works if you want to listen to this album in the background. Like, it's just on loop, it's like happening, every song sounds the same, it's whatever. But if you try to actively listen to it, song after song, it's very monotonous and not exciting at all. Plus, these songs don't even work as poems, which is what Taylor kind of is trying to make it seem, that these were poems, that she's a poet, that she's a tortured poet. But this song does have a nice line, I guess, that I reacted to actually. You swore that you loved me, but where were the clues? But Daddy, I loved him. This song has also some nice opening lines, or rather lines that are in the beginning of the song. I just learned that these people only raise you to cage you. And I'm thinking like, okay, yes, so she's going to be singing about how your parents, they raise you, everybody's parents fuck them up in their own unique way, they're supposed to protect you. I thought that was going to be the song. Obviously, But Daddy, I Love Him does make me think of like, oh, it's just going to be about her loving somebody, her parents, or, you know, her dad not allowing her to be with this person. And then she also later said, I just learned these people try and save you because they hate you, which reminds me a lot of religious people when they're like, oh, we're just trying to save you, we don't want you to go to hell, no, you're just hateful people. I'm confused. This song should be a country song, or like a country rock song at least, but it's just like this synthy, poppy, pop rock sounding song like every other on this album so far. Taylor is often famous, quote unquote, for her bridges, and this bridge, or rather the bridge in this song, does have some interesting lines. God save the most judgmental creeps who say they want what's best for me, sanctimoniously performing soliloquies I'll never see. Obviously, she's calling out the haters, or just in general the people that are critiquing her, and also whatever it is that I'm doing here, because it is technically like a soliloquy that she will never see, but also sometimes it is her fans that are critiquing her, or just like saying nice stuff about her, or trying to help her not seem so psychotic. And for this song, I also wrote down that the melody reminds me a lot of Anti-Hero, which again, this album, at least the Jack Antonoff songs, sound like they're Midnight's rejects, or Midnight's from the Vault, if you will. Fresh Out the Slammer. So the song starts with this deeper bass and a very country sounding guitar, so I was excited that she would be singing in her lower register maybe, and be a little more serious, maybe a little more country, and then she just continued with the airy, dainty delivery that she does a lot on the album. She really loves this kind of a delivery and melody, this sort of staccato singing of the line, fresh out the slammer, oh, or, you know, something like that. It doesn't really work. She's not that great of a vocalist to pull it off as often as she does it. Florida! You have to yell it because, you know, 3 exclamation points. Oof, the singing styles don't match whatsoever. This is a song with Florence Welch, and Florence's delivery really does not work with this sound. During the bridge, it really shows how different Taylor's singing and Florence's singing is, and how it just does not match. But I do like what Florence brought to the song. Like, I like the little thrills in her voice, and though I like that you can feel like this minimal anger present in the song, and the 8 beats right after they sing the word Florida, that's nice and fun, but like, you know, maybe bring that anger into singing too. Maybe make the song feel a little more energetic and furious and, I don't know, guilty as sin? Question mark? Okay, this song sounds cute. It really fits Taylor's voice way more. But this is one of those songs that expect you to be knowledgeable of all of Taylor Swift lore, because some of the lines are, I keep these longings locked in lowercase inside a vault. And like, if you don't follow Taylor, you would not get this lyric. Her music is only for the people that really follow her, so she never dares to experiment anymore or do something different, because she knows it will pay the bills. I mean, it could pay the bills for like an entire country, but never mind. Who is afraid of little old me? Again, there's this darker tone with some sonic inspiration, I think from Lana's Ultraviolet, honestly. Really minimal. She doesn't do it as well as Lana does. I really like that she was trying something different with her yelling the line, who's afraid of little old me, but the delivery is so piercing and weak, and I cannot tell you if that's on purpose or if it's just because she hasn't had to actually sing that high and loud for so long. Also, the main point of the song, who's afraid of little old me, well, you should be, it's kind of cringe. Not kinda, it really is cringe. But I do like the lines, at all costs keep your good name, you don't get to tell me how you feel bad. I can fix him, in brackets. No, I really can. So there's again this guitar, the twang, the sort of deeper sound in the instrumental, but yet again, the same airy, light, girlish delivery. I just know that her fans and like random country girls or whatever in the US are going to lose their minds to the lines. They shake their heads saying, God help her when I tell him he's my man. She really only writes lyrics that she thinks are going to be quoted a lot, instead of like just writing good lyrics. LOML. Now you may think that this is love of my life, but no. LOML here means loss of my life. See, she's playing with our expectations. She's really like smart, you guys. The melody of this song reminds me of Betty, but it's like a sadder version of Betty. There's a very weird delivery here, especially in the line, you told me I'm the love of your life. Obviously that's the LOML, but she ends the song with, you know, it's loss of my life. I don't know, I didn't write anything else for the song, it's whatever. I can do it with a broken heart. Now this one legitimately sounds like a song off Midnight's. The instrumental is interesting up until like the 40-second mark. I'm getting really tired of this heavy reverb effect on Taylor's voice, and also whenever she curses in songs, it sounds so forced and like she's just trying to shock the high school audience that she makes her music for. I like the outro of this song though, because there's actually humor there. It sounds like she's just like having fun recording, kind of ribbing herself and ribbing whoever is listening to the song. I like Taylor's songwriting when she's not trying to act like a constant victim, but that's also at the same time somehow a girl boss. Even though this song is the most similar song to Midnight's, an album that I did not particularly like as a whole. So far this may be my favorite song, but I don't see myself listening to it ever again. The smallest man who ever lived. Oh my god! Again, okay, so one song after another she used this sort of starry-eyed metaphor, both in I Can Do It With a Broken Heart and The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. Girls, like, separate the songs. It doesn't have to be one song right after another. No, don't do that. Remember when I said that I liked Taylor's deep register? Actually, I don't remember if I did say that. I like it when she sometimes sings lower and her voice is calmer. But I don't like it like the way she does it in the song. It sounds like she's over-exaggerating the depth, so it just sounds like she's singing like this. The song's instrumental is very bland too. Like, she's really trying her hardest to make Taylor Swift's bridge a thing again on this album, but her writing reads a lot like a teenager trying to sound deep like in the rest of the songs, but the bridges are really embarrassing at times, like in this song. The Alchemy. Jack Antonoff, please retire or at least go on a 10-year hiatus. This song's hook, honestly, who are we to fight the alchemy, is a great example of how Taylor tries too hard to make her lyrics be quotable. Obviously, it's, you know, supposed to be who are we to fight the chemistry, but she says alchemy because, oh my god, she's so smart, and alchemy kinda predates chemistry, and it's also somewhat a philosophy, so their relation is deep and also mystical, like alchemy, blah blah blah. Also, he jokes that it's heroin, but this time with an E. I'm going to kill myself. Clara Bow, another boring song about Taylor painting herself as a victim. Being famous can suck. It must be mentally exhausting having to have every single one of your moves be analyzed and questioned by millions of people. However, that is what Taylor wants. That is what her brand is. She eats all that up and sells it to her diehard fans. She wants people to defend her and her music because, you actually don't understand the song because she's singing about Clara Bow, who died in 1965, and Taylor went on her 65th date when she was 19, which is when she felt like she was dying, when she was with John Mayer, and his name is 9 letters long. Clara Bow's name is 8, so with him she felt like less than, and this is the 16th song on the album, which is 8 times 2, and 2 is how many syllables there are in Taylor's name, which then means that... you get the point. The Black Dog. Wow, I really thought this was going to be something more than just a mellow mid-tempo synth-inspired, country-inspired instrumental with Taylor doing ASMR at that random build-up minute into the song, but nothing happened. I'm gonna get you back. So, this is a jab at Olivia Rodrigo, right? Oh my god, okay, Taylor, I heard those drums at the beginning, and I was like, oh my god, yes, she's doing something more energetic. This might be like a more rock-inspired song. And then she just continued, with everything that she'd done so far. Lilac short skirt, the one that fits me like skin. Yeah, so this one is definitely about Olivia. I mean, okay, I'm Gonna Get You Back is nowhere near the same of a genre as Olivia's song Get Him Back, and also Olivia's song is much better. At this point, there aren't even any quotable lyrics. The lyrical content really does sound like it's just AI generated, and it's just barely sung over a boring, repetitive instrumental. We are 18 songs into this album, and there has not been a single hit yet. Not like hit as like, oh, this song is going to be popular hit, because I assume her fans are going to make most of these songs like have a lot of views and probably chart and whatever. But I mean, nothing's hitting. There's no flavor. There's no spice on this album. The Albatross. This is the first song produced by Aaron Dessner on this album, and holy fuck can you hear the difference. We finally heard another instrument besides a synth, a bass guitar, a beat machine, and a piano. I thought Taylor was going to do something smart here finally. I thought that she was going to reference the Albatross by Charles Baudelaire, where she would compare herself to an albatross, as she is a poet in a way, like in this album. That's how she's presenting herself, and the poem by Baudelaire compares an albatross to poets, making the poets be these victims of an unruly public, and Taylor constantly throughout this album paints herself as a victim, but she doesn't really do that in this song. Her albatross is aggressive, and you may say that she's kind of doing like a contrast thing, like you expect her to be a victim, but no, she fights back. But like, no, most of the album is about her being a victim and somebody doing her wrong. I honestly cannot tell what she does. Like, there are too many mixed symbols that are all together and they do not make sense, not only in this song, but on this entire album. But at least the instrumental of this song is different. Chloe, or Sam, or Sophia, or Marcus. As the decade would play us for fools, and you saw my bones out with somebody new, who seemed like he would have bullied you in school. So you're in your 30s, so stop right now immediately. I was hoping that with a different producer the album would at least be more interesting, or that it would sound different, but like, a song about cheating and her, yet again, being a victim. Also, this is just a side thing. If you're going to willingly date somebody with an addiction, or even just somebody who at times does drugs, smokes, or drinks in order to have fun, relax, or to feel something, bestie, it's you. You're the problem for choosing that person. I don't care anymore. How did it end? Oh hey guys, a song that starts with someone just playing notes of chords on a piano. What an interesting and never before heard on this album way to start a song. Taylor starts the song with the line, "We hereby conduct this post-mortem." And I just know her fans are going to go crazy over this, but also there are these lines here. "My beloved ghost in me, sitting in a tree. D-Y-I-N-G. She cannot be serious. So, high school. Oh my god, do I hear some pop rock and emo rock influences? Thank fuck. This is actually a cute song. It's talking about that feeling, that sort of teenage love, the pure euphoric feeling of love where you're also kind of ashamed of it maybe, but like not in a bad way ashamed. The airy, girlish singing that I've been talking about makes sense with the song. Like, it fits here because she's talking about the feeling that you feel like when you're a teenager, and she's singing like she's a teenager. This is good. This is good. The falsettos and jumps from one register to another here that Taylor does in this song are, well, not that good. It really shows her weaknesses as a vocalist, and the two bridges of this song are so fucking cringy. However, this song is cute, and maybe the best song of the album. I hate it here. Me too, Taylor. Nah, this song is fine. I guess I like the Hand in My Pocket by Alanis Morissette reference in the melody of the bridge, if it was intentional. If it wasn't, it's a lucky coincidence given the meanings of the two songs, but I don't know. Thank you, aIMee. Okay, so a song about Kim and Kanye, but Kim especially. What a weird way to try to be subliminal, but not subliminal. She wanted it to be obvious, but she also tried to make herself seem smart. Yeah, this is not Britney's If You Seek Amy. No. Like, if she wanted this, to have a play with the title, why not go for like an acronym? I don't know, like Kim is a short name. You can think of a sentence or, a couple of words that make sense together that start with KIM. I don't know, like kindness in me or something, and make the song about how you had so much kindness in you to forgive her or whatever. The song just rehashes the drama that happened between Kanye, Kim, and Taylor, and while yes, Taylor was definitely a victim there, and what Kim and Kanye did was horrendous and psychotic, why is she going after Kim? Because she sees her as this mean girl archetype? Again, with the high school bullshit, Taylor, grow up. I'm gonna read some lines here that I found interesting. Everyone knows that my mother is a saintly woman, but she used to say she wished that you were dead. I get this sentiment, like I really do, but yeah, that's... yeah. I wrote 1,000 songs that you find uncool. I built a legacy, which you cannot undo. But when I count the scars, there's a moment of truth that there wouldn't be this if there hadn't been you. And maybe you've reframed it, and in your mind you never beat my spirit black and blue. I don't think you've changed much, and so I changed your name and any real defining clues. One day, your kid comes home singing a song that only us two is gonna know is about you. Like, see, this is actually some good introspection from Taylor. She knows her success and breakthrough into pop culture is dependent on the scandal and feud with Kanye, and that's good. But then she goes on to ruin it by being like, nah, your kid is gonna listen to my songs. Girl, you're literally admitting that your music is for kids. I look in people's windows. Listen, I love how you can 100% predict what the lyrical content of the song is going to be about, and you can also assume what it's going to sound like based on literally every previous song on the album, and also what the twist is going to be. The guitar is cute, I guess. Oh, but there is actually this one line that I really like in the song. Does it feel alright to not know me? Not to know me. Yeah, could have done some editing there, but yeah. I like that one. The Prophecy. Oh my god, stop. You had almost the exact same pattern of playing the guitar in the previous song. Please use other instruments. I'm actually shaking from annoyance writing this. Okay, the melody of the chorus is very nice, but I am tired of this trend of millionaires and billionaires saying something's missing in their life. I am sorry, but if your only concern is not being able to keep a relationship while being successful, gorgeous, and confident, then maybe your personality just sucks. At a certain point, I don't think it's men's fault. Cassandra. Oh, this is an Evermore reject, right? It's interesting that this song follows the song The Prophecy, because of who Cassandra is. Taylor is yet again singing about the situation with Kim and Kanye. Thematically, it makes no sense why the song would come after Thank You, aIMee on the album. On that song, she realized what happened and how she actually healed and grew from that, but here, she's back to just being a victim. I get that she would be frustrated, but seriously, get over it. Peter. Okay, I like the sort of waltz vibe of the chorus, but I don't know, this really just feels like a random piano ballad. It's a pretty sad sounding song, and it has a beautiful atmosphere though, but something's missing to really make me want to listen to it in the coming weeks. But again, it's a fine song. I like that it's basically about needing resolution. It's a different take on breaking up with someone, like needing the person to grow up and be more mature, but also maybe it's just about growing up. Peter could be just Peter Pan, and the song could be about a relationship with your younger self that you promise you will go back to at a certain point, but you never really do because you yourself grew up. I like this song, but I don't see myself listening to it. The Bolter. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this was a piss break song for me. Well, most of this album is just toilet break songs, but I could not care to pay attention to another song that sounds like most of the other songs on the album, and I guess here she's saying that she runs away from her problems. Robin. Cute. it could have come before Peter just based on what she's singing about. And I think that this song is about like being a child, which is, you know, being carefree. But yeah, I'm kind of tired of these sorts of songs. I'm tired of this album. Thankfully, the Manuscript is the last song. And this is too stripped down for me. It's literally just 4 repeating notes with a harmony over and over until like a 2-minute mark where we get the piano playing chord notes and then more vocals are added, some imitation of strings also, and it's like a build-up that leads into nothing. Taylor ends the song, and obviously the album, on, I guess, an interesting couple of lines. Now and then I reread the manuscript, but the story is not mine anymore. Again, she ends the album with these lines, meaning that the story of the album is not hers anymore. Now the story is the listener's. However, what the fuck is the story of this album? From what I could gather from her fans' annotations on Genius, most of these songs are about Matty Healy, a guy who she was in a relationship with for like a month. And she's releasing all of this while she's with the Travis guy or whatever. Instead of doing an album about being in love, akin to the song So High School, with bits and pieces of recovering from her past relationships, this album focuses too much on the past. The title, The Tortured Poets Department, perfectly describes the album. It's about a poet who is tortured by something. But the thing is, Taylor is not a poet. She's a pop lyricist at best. I like a couple of her songs, Folklore and Evermore. I really like a fair amount of the songs from those albums, where she arguably had some of her best lyrical and vocal content, but it was because those 2 albums were mostly about storytelling. The interesting lyrics there came from the fact that she was great at telling stories at that time after a couple of albums of doing more pop work. Now she has had 3 or 4 albums of just these mid-tempo ballads, and it's clear that her artistry is very tired. What's tortured here is not her, it's her imagination and creativity. She paints herself as the victim, instead of realizing that she's a successful billionaire, using the mask of a tortured poet or a tortured artist to get more money from her easily impressed fans. And I think she's going to succeed at that. However, I truly don't think that this was a good album. There is not a single song I would listen to again. The lyrical content was laughably teenage-like. The main producer of the album did a horrible job, making it seem like he wasn't even trying on most of the songs. The vocals are nothing to write home about, but with Taylor that's pretty much always the case. And if I had to rate this album, I would give it like a 2 out of 10. Am I making this video in hopes of her fans finding this and shitting on the video, thus boosting it in the algorithm? Yeah. And what about it?